One thing you got to know is that people are very predictable. Even narcissists, especially narcissists, they pretty much all have the same origin story. They all have the same agenda. They want to knock other people down so they can feel good about themselves. They don't have a healthy way of relating to the world around them, the people around them. So they have to resort to insidious means. And when the narcissist gets into the workplace and they get into a position of management where they have authority, like real authority over people in the workplace, that workplace becomes their kingdom. And they become the king and the queen, and they make the rules, and they execute the punishments. And the people over the narcissist, they don't care. They don't care that the narcissist is doing these things to people. All they care about is that the job is getting done. Or it appears that the job is getting done, because the narcissist is lying to the real higher-ups in the workplace. The owners of the practice, the owners of the company, they're putting a facade on. They're pretending everybody's happy. They're pretending the work is getting done, when in reality, it's just the narcissist who gets up and comes to work every day not to, make the company's vision come to life. They come to work with the sole purpose of torturing other people, of getting off on torturing other people, of dreaming up what new ways to torture other people. And they want their flunkies, they force their flunkies, their little flying monkeys, to participate in this. So the narcissistic workplace is created of the narcissist who's at the top. Then the majority of the workplace will be the flying monkeys. And it varies on how complicit these people are. Sometimes these people are just trying to fly under the radar, but they do work for the narcissist and their agenda. And then at the very bottom, you have the victim. And it's usually one victim at a time that I've seen. They'll work on one person. So they'll harass their targeted victim until that person is forced to quit, or until they have a good enough reason to fire them. So there'll also be lesser narcissists that are not as powerful as the main narcissist, and they will be grouped into the flying monkey group, but they're basically baby narcissists just waiting to take their main role. So what they'll do is they are responsible for the majority of the stalking and the harassment. So they're really the ones that are stalking your social media and Googling your name and trying to talk to people that know you to gather more information about you to use against you. And it doesn't matter if there's anything out there on you or not. It doesn't matter if you have incriminating social media presence, or if you have anything that they could misconstrue to be used against you, because they'll just make something up anyways. So 100% of the time, the people that they target are people with low self-esteem. They're going to target reactionary people. They're going to target former victims of abuse who don't know how to stand up for themselves. If it's a female-dominated workplace, they're going to target the younger, more attractive woman, or they're going to target the older lady that is super sweet and would never say anything or stand up for herself. If it's a male-dominated workplace, the male narcissist is going to target the bigger, stronger man that's more attractive than him. It's going to be the person that's not going to take up for himself. That's a perfect target. If this is a tech industry or a medical industry where you have to be really smart to work in this industry, they will target the very smart person, the very capable person, the person who might actually get promoted over them. But this person also, you have to be a person that won't take up for yourself. Every single time, it is going to be a person that won't take up for themselves and won't fight back. And we are conditioned that we are supposed to be nice at work to people. We're supposed to work with other people. I mean, this is all in the handbook, right? This is one of the requirements of the job when they interview you, is that you can work as a team. You can work with others. You can resolve conflict. You can avoid conflict. You can be good at your job and come up with innovative ideas. And this is all things that we are conditioned to believe that should be occurring in the workplace and that would be expected of us. But then when you get in there, you realize that's not how it works at all. When you get into the narcissistic workplace, the real agenda is for you to execute the narcissist agenda. They don't care about the company's vision. Like I said, they don't care about the mission statement. Their personal mission statement is all they care about, to conquer and destroy. They will throw a customer off a bridge if it means they can blame it on you. So it appears that the narcissist is effective from the outside, but in reality, they're burning the company to the ground. They're going to cause the company to become bankrupt, to close. They destroy, they're bad for business, basically. And that's another thing. If they don't have a victim to torture, they will turn on, sometimes on the customers, and sometimes they'll turn on themselves. And if they don't have anybody else to torture, they'll move on to somewhere else. So you go to work and you're being bullied by a narcissist, and you try to go over their head, or you try to go to HR. Nobody cares. You can't be emotional, really. Nobody's going to care that you're upset, that somebody upset you, because they're just going to think that you're too fragile to work in the workplace, or that that's something that needs to be worked out amongst you two. And sometimes they'll try to drag you into mediation, and they'll try to, and the narcissist will pretend like they're sorry and that you're a good employee and blah, blah, blah. But that's all just for show. And the victim is not going to seek help or mediation over one or two instances where the narcissist said something mean or did something mean. This is when you are, every single day you're being harassed, you're being targeted. Every interaction with these people is gaslighting. They're committing hundreds and hundreds of attacks against you every day. Everything you do is being sabotaged. And that's why it's so maddening, is because it's very hard to put that into words. It's very hard to put into words that your narcissistic manager or superior is obsessed with torturing you, because nobody would believe that, right? And you can't possibly prove every single thing that they have done against you. You can't possibly record everything and document everything. You can't, it's very hard to prove a pattern of harassment, and they're just going to pretend like they're not harassing you and that they are just managing you. They're just reprimanding you over something you did at work. But like I said, these people will throw customers off bridges. They will blame you for it. One thing you can do if you're being mobbed and targeted by a narcissist at work is to stop emotionally reacting. So when they come at you, just say, okay, fine, pretend, okay, great, I'll do that. Or just don't have a reaction, don't complain. Don't talk to your other coworkers about how annoyed you are. Just don't have a reaction at all. And when you do that, the narcissist will have to amp it up, and they will amp up their attacks. And this is when they get caught. They get so used to perpetuating attacks against people and doing what they're doing, and they're not getting caught, that they will actually break laws in the workplace. They will commit crimes. I mean, this is what you see on the news. This is what you see on Dateline. These people will stalk people. They will break the law to harass you. They will follow you outside of the workplace. They will amp it up. They will almost physically attack you at work, and sometimes they will. And this is when it makes news. They are addicted to your pain and suffering, and that's why you cannot classify these people as reasonable people, because they put their need to target and harass you above anything else, because they need that reaction from you and that supply. They need that hit. They're addicted to that. These people are ticking time bombs. Have you ever seen that rage, that narcissistic rage in someone when they're triggered by something and they are forced to suppress that rage That's what they don't want. That's what they're trying to avoid. And whenever that rage and that trigger happens, that stacks on top of the next one and the next one and the next one until they blow up. The only way they can avoid blowing up or exploding is to let off some of that steam. And the way they do that is torturing and harassing someone else, or torturing and harassing at all. If they can torture and harass you, humiliate you, upset you, that lets off a little bit of that steam. That makes them happy. They go home happy that day. They don't go home happy if they hit their goals and their quotas, and if they get a new customer for the business. They don't go home happy because of that. They only go home happy if they know they humiliated somebody that day and if they tortured somebody that day. So why are these people allowed to become managers, and why do they rise in the ranks like this? Well, because it takes a certain amount of confidence, and the narcissist is great at faking confidence. And they'll do whatever they have to do to get that position. They will step on other people. They'll sabotage other people. That's how they get to these management roles. And they are good at persuasion. They know how to persuade other people. They know what people want to hear. They play nice, and they're perceived as tough, so they're perceived as capable of managing. And that's the type of person that's going to get the management role. And the only way you're going to have a manager that's not a narcissist is if you have someone who is capable of being tough while also being a kind, empathetic person as well at the same time. And honestly, it's hard to be empathetic and to manage people, because you have to fire people. You have to be in positions where you're disciplining people. And when you're an empathetic, normal person, it's hard to do that. It's hard to put your own emotions aside and execute the goals of the company. And that's why narcissists are so good in management roles, because they'll just fire anybody, right? They love to do that. So in this video, I've talked a little bit about what types of people narcissists will target, how narcissists act in the workplace, how they execute their own agendas and not the company's agenda. If you want to see anything else from me, please let me know in the comments below. Thanks.